Well, last time I checked, it wasn't Russia running out of ammunition. It was the United States. It's Europe, and it's the Ukrainians. The Russians have sufficient resources. The Russians are dug in into defensive positions that are doctrinally laid out. The territory that Ukraine is supposedly advancing on is in what we call the crumple zone. That is the forward area in front of the initial defensive line. There are three defensive lines. The Ukrainians haven't even reached the first defensive line, and they've already lost between 20 and 40% of the NATO-trained capability that was being prepared for this counteroffensive. The fact is that the Ukrainians have failed. They will continue to push forward. They will continue to die in outrageous numbers. They will continue to lose equipment, but the Russians are enjoying an 8-to-1 to 10-to-1 kill advantage. That means for every one dead Russian, there's 8 to 10 dead Ukrainians, and this is unsustainable, and that's the reality of it. The fact is, if this war continues on this trajectory, Russia will achieve a strategic military victory sometime by the end of summer, early fall, and I think this is the reality that both NATO and the United States are coming to grips with, that they cannot sustain the provision of munitions and equipment to Ukraine necessary for Ukraine to remain viable on the battlefield. Ukraine is losing troops and losing equipment at a rate that far exceeds their ability to replace either. And the Russians, on the other hand, are sitting on reserves that number between 180 and 220,000 strong, reserves that are fresh, well-trained, well-equipped, and when they're committed to the battlefield sometime in the near future, Ukraine will have no response.